Okay, like I've said, cardboard is king. You need lots of cardboard when you're trying to plan out your van. I just made this cardboard box to simulate one of the cabinets that I'm hoping to put over the bed. This one's for over the bed. I've got another one that's already in there for over the sink. And I'm actually using the table saw to cut these. Okay, this large long box here, I cut on the table saw the side out so that it'll fit up flush against the wall. This box, of course, is not solid. There's just two pieces a few inches from the end to make sure that it's square. Like I said, when you're building your van, cardboard is king. It's very valuable, so don't be throwing any boxes out. So this is going to fit up right up there over the bed. This is a prototype, and taking a look at this, I actually think I'm going to make this box a little bit larger, and it'll drop down a little bit further from the top. You can see I actually finished the wall section off here as if no cabinets were going to go there. I did that for really no reason. I've always known I'm going to put cabinets there, but as I was making the walls for both sides, I just wanted to finish things off. So when I put the cabinet up here, I will of course remove this. This won't actually be behind the cabinet because it'll provide us with a little bit extra space. This edge down here underneath will be a strip light of LED lights that will glow and light up the bed area. That will still be here. I will still have that strip. As I'm looking at it now, I think I'm going to take and drop this cabinet down a little bit lower and maintain that little overhang so that I can have that light, because the light will be the same on the other side, except on that side I don't plan any cabinets at all, so that I can lean up against the wall and relax a little bit, because that's what it's all about. So working hard now, designing this correctly, so hopefully in the future I can enjoy it and not work at it. At least that's the hope. I made this little box right here to simulate the cabinet that's going to go over the stove and oven area and the sink area. This cabinet will protrude out beyond the sliding door just a little bit. The important factor is to make sure it's small enough that when I'm working over the oven, I don't hit my head on the cabinet. That's the primary reason to make this. Right now, I think it can be a little bit bigger, because being right here, I don't think I'm going to be hitting my head on that cabinet. So we might be able to drop it down a little bit and come out a little bit. So that just means I need to build another cardboard box. All right, after fiddling with the boxes a little bit of an update. Right now above the bed, we've got this large box, which will be a cabinet, of course. And then down here, we've got a smaller box to simulate a little bit smaller cabinet that's in a little bit farther. So we'll see what actually happens, and if you stay tuned, you'll see what actually gets built. But right now, this cabinet comes down about 15 inches from the roof, and let me check. Yep, it is 12 inches deep, and this little one here is 6 inches by 6 inches. And it will go the full length of the bed, which is 56 inches. So So that hopefully will provide us with enough storage for our clothes. I just went around and took down my cardboard cabinets. Here's one of them here. It went up right there in that spot. And before I took them down, I tested it out. And what I mean by testing it out is this is my prototype seat, and I marked with tape where my head and my shoulders ended so that I would know exactly where those were on the wall. I also did this to test out and make sure that I wasn't hitting my head when I got up out of the seat. I didn't want to make those cabinets too big. And then I also wrote down the size right on the wall. Don't be afraid to write the size on your wall. You're going to cover this in marine vinyl, or you're going to paint it, or whatever you're going to do. So take advantage of what you got, make it easy for yourself. This is 13.5 by 13.5 by 30 inches long. This line right here is where the refrigerator ends, because we have a full-size refrigerator in this van built. And I did the same thing on the other side. On this side, we're going to have a cabinet that goes over the oven and the sink area. And this one will be 10.5 inches down, 12 inches deep, and 56 inches long. At least that's the prototype right now. When you start on your cabinets, again, cardboard is king. So one of the first things you need to do is cut templates for the sidewalls of your cabinets. So I just take a piece of cardboard on here. I'm keeping it flush up against the ceiling or roof of the van, and I need to match this angle. So I just simply take my hand here and hold it the same distance away and draw a line. And go a little bit further, I'll cut a little bit more off so I can get all the way down there. Now my cabinet's going to end at this point here. So now I'll cut that piece off and we'll see if it fits. Once you get that cut, just take it, match it up against your wall again. And my cabinet will end at the bottom here, and it'll come out from the wall up to that line. So that matches good enough. Now if you're not steady with your hand, you can always add some blocks to a Sharpie so that you can slide the Sharpie against the wall. You know, if this was out like that and you needed to scribe a line, you can also do that. Whatever works to get to a good fit. One of the things to do when making your cabinets is to be sure your van's level. Since my driveway slopes away from the house so that when it rains the water flows away from the house, I used a jack to raise one side of the van and make it level. Then all you need to do is hang a string from the line where your cabinet's going to go and put a weight on the end. And that string will give you a straight line. One of those wonderful laws of gravity. First we made our template out of cardboard, and now I've taken that cardboard and I've made it out of thin door skin. This is a template I can keep, and it is a template that I will use to cut the actual plywood for the side walls of the cabinets. This goes in right there. Our cabinet goes down to this line here, and I will also be using this metal rib on the van to help hold the cabinet in place. This is the cabinet that will go above the bed area, and an almost identical but a little bit shorter cabinet will go above the sink area. Stay tuned and you'll see how we make those cabinets.